Good evening. Thank you all for connecting. My name is Natalia. I'm a medical doctor in the UK, and I've been studying Logosophy for the past 15 years. Logosophy is a new science created by Carlos Bernardo González Pecoche in Argentina in 1930. Nowadays, there are many cultural centers throughout the world where students deepen their understanding of this science that focus on the conscious evolution of the human being and presents a unique method to accomplish it. Logosophy also possesses a unique pedagogy, and in Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, there are Logosophical schools where many generations of students have been benefiting from this teaching method. Logosophy is a practical science which the main field is life itself. It allows you to take control of your life and the experiences you live and to enjoy them under a new light. The books in English are available to be downloaded for free on the website logosophy.org.uk, and there's the option of seeing the website and the books in other languages listed there on the right upper quadrant. Today, Sheila, one of our Logosophical students, will present the topic, How Logosophy Expanded My Concept of Gratitude. Over to you, Sheila.
Good evening. My name is Sheila Perl. I am Brazilian and have been living in the UK for a long time. I began to study Logosophy in Rio de Janeiro, and since I moved to Europe, started studying it with Barcelona, where our institution is located. I thank you all for watching this webinar, and I'm sure we are going to have a pleasant and interesting time talking about some of the experience I had with the concept of gratitude.
So, Sheila, how your interest or need to study this subject started?
After studying the logosophical teachings for a while, I realized that I had some difficulty to understand a specific concept, the concept of gratitude. This concept became clearer as I started applying the teachings more constantly to my life. I could observe that only when I started receiving the benefits of the application of this concept, only then I started to feel gratitude as a superior sentiment. And the first person I could feel this sentiment was to the author of Logosophy, who had shown me something I had never knew before.
Could you tell us what is the difference between the concept of gratitude Logosophy presented to you from the one we all know?
Logosophy has showed me that my gratitude was expressed by a simple thank you, the one we use with our mind and following the education we receive. With the study of this concept, I started to learn to really feel gratitude for what people did or gave me, and not to express it by a simple thank you said with my mind and not by a real feeling. Observing how we say thank you in Portuguese, my language, I realized that the word to thank is not a manifestation of a feeling, but of an obligation. In Portuguese, we say muito obrigado, which means much obliged, like it was said in English many, many years ago. So I realized that I should not feel obliged to thank for anything, but be really grateful for all I receive.
So, Sheila, how studying Logosophy has made you feel the true sentiment of gratitude?
Logosophy has taught me to use recalling as a key element to identify in which moments of my life I had felt this sentiment or not. I started doing exercise of recalling, and many moments I lived in the past came back to my mind. As an example, I started recalling all the things my parents did to me. When I got married, they received me in their house for 3 years while the apartment we bought was being built. My mother always sewed my dresses when I was growing up, and she even made my wedding dress. She was already 84 years old when she made the long tablecloths for serving the sweets on my son's wedding day, and many, many more things. My parents were very present in my life, and only for that I should be very grateful to them. Logosophy reviews the need to create this sentiment and teaches how to do it. As far as I know, I've never heard about an institution which has this purpose. And that is the reason why we, sons and daughters, generally are not really grateful to our parents. There is a concept and a thought very common on our minds. Parents do have to do everything to their children. It's their obligation. Parents do everything to their children because they want to. So some even say they had their children because they wanted. Then it's their responsibility. With this kind of thoughts, it's hard to feel true gratitude to them. All this is a clear expression of ingratitude to the dedication, love, and unconditional giving of the parents. I understand that the parents love their children and do all that naturally without asking anything in return. But that doesn't mean that it's okay not to recognize everything they have done. We sure should do it. How? As an expression of our feelings by recognizing all they have done and not with a simple thank you mentally said. Studying about gratitude, I realized I had just done that with my parents. I had not recognized all the good things they had done to me and to my family. I took it all for granted, as most of us do, no? The conscience about this reality was the turning point for the creation of this noble sentiment. So I started recognizing all they had done to me, and the true sentiment of gratitude was created little by little. As a consequence, a strong feeling of reciprocating manifested in my heart. And so I started offering them many happy moments of attention and affection during the trips and leisure times they spent with me and my family that gave them much joy and happiness. One specific teaching made me conscious, deeply moved me, and it was the key to start feeling this sentiment. The teacher says, it is necessary then to create a sentiment that by starvation seems to have been eliminated among the ones the human heart sustains, the sentiment of gratitude. The teaching talks about starvation, and the dictionary says that starvation is the state of extreme weakness caused by the lack of food that can cause a person even to die. The concept of physical starvation helped me to understand what happened with the sentiment of gratitude when it's not fed with the knowledge that nourishes it in the human heart. The lack of nutrition is the cause of the disappearance of this noble sentiment and converts it on a simple mental expression said only for education. That was exactly what happened to me. I had no idea about this reality and acted with ingratitude towards my parents and other people as well. You may not believe, but my understanding of the value of this sentiment made me be grateful even to money. It does look that. One thing has nothing to do with the other, but they are really connected. I had to empower my understanding to see it, which I only did when I started to cultivate this sentiment. I could see whom I had been ungrateful to and recognized being ungrateful even to the money I had. In a period of my life, I was influenced by friends who had the habit of buying a lot. My lack of mental defenses made me to do the same. In the end, when I had to move from the country I was living, I had to get rid of many of the things I had bought. Logosophy explains the importance to have mental defense when it says, the teacher says, no? The fact is that apart from the common cognition, it is necessary to equip the mind with certain recourse over positive and instantaneous effect, and must also be trained in handling them. These are precisely the mental defenses that Logosophy teaches one to create. It's a kind of mental fencing which requires daily training to keep the mind agile. Not having this recourse active in my mind to protect me, I just followed what my friends did, not thinking if I really needed all that stuff. Analyze this experience using now the Logosophical teachings made me see very clearly that I didn't give the real value that my money deserved. I became aware of the many happy moments money made me possible to live, and I had taken it for granted. What changed inside me? The own concept of money changed. I then could understand that money is the physical materialization of our effort, work, and constancy to achieve it. It contains many hours of work, dedication, worries, working group, restraint not to lose it, and many more things. I realized that when I spend it trivially or with unnecessary things, by the influence of friends, of the moment I'm living, of fashion, or from an advertisement appeal, acting like this is a form of disrespect and ingratitude to myself, to my husband, and to the money we acquired. So my concept of money now is that money is the physical materialization of the effort, hard work, and restraint to save it done by who made it.
But why is it important to be grateful to money? What does the sentiment of gratitude have to do with money?
Yeah, it does look that one thing has nothing to do with the other, but they are really connected. I had to empower my understanding to see it, which I only did when I started to cultivate this sentiment. I could see whom I had been ungrateful to and recognized being ungrateful even to the money I had. In a period of my life, I was influenced by friends who had the habit of buying a lot. My lack of mental defenses made me to do the same. In the end, when I had to move from the country I was living, I had to get rid of many of the things I had bought. Logosophy explains the importance to have mental defense when it says, the teacher says, no? The fact is that apart from the common cognition, it is necessary to equip the mind with certain recourse over positive and instantaneous effect, and must also be trained in handling them. These are precisely the mental defenses that Logosophy teaches one to create. It's a kind of mental fencing which requires daily training to keep the mind agile. Not having this recourse active in my mind to protect me, I just followed what my friends did, not thinking if I really needed all that stuff. Analyze this experience using now the Logosophical teachings made me see very clearly that I didn't give the real value that my money deserved. I became aware of the many happy moments money made me possible to live, and I had taken it for granted. What changed inside me? The own concept of money changed. I then could understand that money is the physical materialization of our effort, work, and constancy to achieve it. It contains many hours of work, dedication, worries, working group, restraint not to lose it, and many more things. I realized that when I spend it trivially or with unnecessary things, by the influence of friends, of the moment I'm living, of fashion, or from an advertisement appeal, acting like this is a form of disrespect and ingratitude to myself, to my husband, and to the money we acquired. So, my concept of money now is that money is the physical materialization of the effort, hard work, and restraint to save it done by who made it.
And what about the people who inherited great fortunes without having ever worked to achieve it?
It doesn't change anything. The sentiment of gratitude should be the same, because certainly either his father, grandfather, great grandfather have worked hard to have the fortune that he or she are now enjoying. Money doesn't fall from the sky. In some point of the past, someone has worked to get it. We wouldn't see people wasting great fortunes left by their ancestors if the sentiment of gratitude for the receiving fortune was real. This waste means they didn't respect or gave the real value that the fortune represented and treated it as something only material, forgetting the effort and work done by the ones who made it.
So, Sheila, what has changed in the way that you spend your money now?
Well, now I use my money more consciously and don't follow friends or other people's suggestions about how to spend it. I use it basically to enjoy the company of my friends, my family who lives in America, to fulfill my health needs that increases with aging, to participate to the seminar in Barcelona when I broaden the knowledge that is transforming my life and is teaching me to diffuse it to others. I'm aware that this money that I can enjoy today is the result of the Sheila who changed in the past. It is my own inheritance. It is the consequence of the effort, hard work, and savings that me and my husband had made in the past. If I can do now what I consider essential in my life that needs money to be done, it is thanks to what I have done in the past in relation to money. It is a great concern nowadays, the fact that the younger generation has great difficulty in valuing the excess of comforts resources they have access to. But how could one demand a different posture from them if they are not taught how to recognize the effort that is behind everything they received and enjoy? How could they do differently without learning to be grateful for what they inherited from those who preceded them? How can I expect a less indifferent and more generous humanity if I cannot be grateful even for what I have achieved or for what my parents gave me?
Sheila, what are the benefits nurturing this sentiment has brought to your life?
This work was not restricted only to my family. I started feeling it in relation to life itself. I became more conscious of the many good things life has given me. And I got the habit of recalling them at night before going to sleep. I thank life and the Creator for having the family I have. I thank for the opportunity of having known a study like Logosophy and its creator. I thank myself for having seized the opportunity of dedicating my life to learn how to live a more conscious life and to help others to do the same. In the end, I realized I have only to be grateful and correspond for all the good things life has given me. But did I do this before? No. Only sporadically I could give thanks with my mind, but not with a real feeling. It was Logosophy who taught me to do that, since it made me really conscious of it. The sentiment of gratitude gives us another important benefit. It protects us from the constant insatisfaction caused by ingratitude. Studying the common manifestation of ingratitude, I could see that it makes the person insatiable, that is, always wanting something more from the ones who already give them a lot. It causes insatisfaction, but not considering or valuing good enough what they already have. It makes them envious persons because they think other people always have better things. I'm so glad I won't end up my days complaining about life because I learned to recognize all the opportunities it has given me. I know some people who have many reasons to be grateful and still complain a lot because they are not aware of all the good things they already have.
Thank you, Sheila. Is there any other aspect you could tell us?
Yeah, I could identify that I had a wrong concept about what is doing good. It is common to give more importance to material possessions than to the ones of other nature. The big things like buying a house, a car, traveling abroad, getting a good job are more valued than the ones we get or receive every day, such as the joy of seeing a son or a daughter happy in their professional and family life, the joy of being healthy, the joy of being able to help someone and of being helped, the joy of acquiring new knowledges. These are some of the small things that we get or receive every day, but take it for granted and don't value or see the importance they really have in our lives. Logosophy made me wake up about these small things when it talks about happiness, when it says in the teachings, happiness is something granted to us by life through small portions of good. Learning to recognize that I have many of these small portions of good made me realize that I have a real treasure that I didn't know before.
This is a very good topic. And according to the concept of doing good and gratitude presented by Logosophy, I wonder how many people are happy and don't know it due to not being aware and grateful for the good things they already have.
Well, we are getting to the end of our webinar, and I would like to say to you that being able to do this webinar is another small good that will join the others of my life's treasure. Thank you so much for watching it. Now, over to you, Natalia.
Thank you very much, Sheila, for your presentation. And thank you all for watching this webinar. If you would like to know more information about Logosophy, you can scan this QR code or you can get in contact with us through the email info@logosophy.org.uk or go to our website logosophy.org.uk where you can find the books and also get in contact with us. We are also on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and there are videos on YouTube. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good evening, everybody.